final presentation, the final 2 hours of our QVC2 big deal. Over half our quantity's already been spoken for. Have a Wagner, you want to chat with us and share your story. Don't have a Wagner and had a roller back in the day. Maybe had a brush back in the day. Wow, the times have changed. You also used to have a corded phone. I also used to have an 8-track tape player. Times have changed when it comes to listening to music, watching video, and obviously, Jason Cameron, obviously painting as well. Great to have you here, buddy.
How are you, man?
That was impressive. And that was done in about, with my yakking like crazy, done in about 40 seconds, maybe?
I would say, I was just going to say 40 seconds. Seems about right, but look at the finish on that.
That's a pretty red door.
That's a red door, very red door.
Okay, what we're going to do over the next few minutes is invite you in to finish jobs, start jobs, things that you never thought you could do, and do it with a really unique item in a really great brand. Wagner, it's kind of like, well, there's the iPhone and then there's everybody else, right?
That is true.
This is that Apple of paint sprayers, is it not, Wagner?
I couldn't agree more because I've grown up with Wagner. I've known them all my life. I'm working with it for a lot of time, and this is a workhorse. I love the FLEXiO because they built this to work for everybody. The beginner, somebody like me who's more advanced, you can pick this up and actually start spraying. And you saw with the red door, what a nice finish that is.
And you saw what I did last night when I sprayed away, and I'd never even touched the thing before.
Right.
It's so simple. It's one trigger. Put the paint in a little hopper. Even got a little liner for it, so it's easy to clean. Ultra powerful. You can change direction on the thing, and you get more here at QVC. So if you ever want to go buy paint, save up to $20, depending on if you're buying the gallon or the 5-gallon at a lot of different places, right? And that's on saving on paint and on stains as well.
On both.
And here's why you're shopping on QVC, because you're saving. This is, hey, home improvement store. Small home improvement store, big national chain, $135 day in, day out. We have it on 5C payments of $20 here and now. Pretty awesome tool, pretty easy to use. It's got 2 parts there. This, what do you got here? That's the heart of the system.
This is the really interesting thing. So right here we've got a lock. This is called the lock and go system.
Okay.
Right. So just press that down with my thumb, and then that comes right off. This is the turbine. You just set that aside. You don't have to worry about cleaning that, right?
Paint never gets here.
Paint never gets
Stain
here.
never gets there.
Let me take that. Now this is 1.5 quarts, so this will cover about a 10 by 12 wall, about 125 square feet.
That's
just
great.
With this. Now you talked about the liner. You get 2 liners.
Can always get more if you want to.
There you go. So that goes in. The beauty of this, you take this out. When you're done, throw it away. You don't have to worry about this.
That's nifty.
Done
Okay,
cleaning, right?
great. I like it.
Wagner has done an amazing job listening to their customers, and one of the things they wanted was easy cleaning. Right?
Okay.
So this part right here, I want to show you one more quick thing. When you're painting, because I get the question all the time, can you paint up and down? Can you do a ceiling? Can you do down? Yes, because what they did, this is genius. It's very simple. If you're painting up, you're at a 45. That's straight down, right? So that's still making paint. If you're painting down this way, this is pointing down, still in the paint.
Good.
So it's a really cool way to do that. But cleaning is really simple. I just take this off. 2 parts, that.
This is getting, if you're changing from red paint to blue paint, for example, or just cleaning up when you're done with
Just cleaning up when you're done. So those 2 pieces, this used to be 7 pieces, it's now 2 pieces.
Okay.
That's it. And then you wipe this down. Soap and water, if you're using a latex paint, you're gonna use hot water and soap.
What about stain?
Stain, you could probably still hot water and soap. If it's an oil base, you're gonna go to mineral spirits, 100% mineral spirits, and then when you're done, then you're gonna run through some hot water through it.
Put that thing back together again, put the liner,
There you go.
liner back in, put some different paint or stain, oil-based stain, oil-based paint, water-based paint, doesn't matter.
Right out of the can.
Right out of the can.
Right out of the can.
The FLEXiO 2000. This is your workhorse model. This is the #1 best-selling in its category from Wagner. When it comes to these portable paint sprayers, the FLEXiO 2000, you can Google it, Google it right now. This is their latest, and we have it at a better price. Let's get to work. We have a lot to do and a lot to talk about. We'll take your calls on it. Save it on the paint, save it on the sprayer as well. But here's what you're not getting.
No, here's what you're not. This you're not getting. We're not putting this in. But I wanted to show you something real quick, Rick. Normally somebody would grab a paintbrush, and it would be a nightmare to try to do this with a paintbrush.
Yeah.
Right? You saw how quickly
I
I
used
did
to
this.
paint growing up. I painted a lot of things.
You and me both, and
Yeah.
usually with this. And if we were getting punished, it would be with this.
That's funny.
So if I do this, this is what you're going to end up getting. You see the paint, the strokes under the brush strokes? That's exactly what you don't want when you're doing a job like this. You want a nice, clean, pristine finish. That's why we don't use those, right? So now I can just come back and cover that right up.
And finish it.
And finish it.
More to come. Here we go.
Yes.
Second to last presentation. This is the last 2-hour show, and the big deal price will go away, just like today's special value that you see on QVC. Starts at midnight and then goes throughout the day. our QVC2 Big Deal starts at 9 p.m.
Yes.
Here we go.
So the Adirondack chair, this was actually being thrown away. Somebody was going to get rid of this. I actually grabbed and put it in my truck.
Okay.
Because I'm like, this is one of those projects you don't want to get rid of it. It's too nice to, to not keep, but it's not nice enough to put out, right? Burnt orange. This is Pantone's #1 color of the year, by the way, right here.
Mr. Sensitivity.
Listen, we got to put that in there.
You got the whole Wagner crew here in his studio. They all know the Pantone color of the year.
So check this out, man.
Mr. Macho over there.
Look how nicely
That's
now.
nice.
If this was a paintbrush or a roller, forget it. And look at that, one coat coverage.
Oh, that's amazing.
Watch the arm. Look at this.
Give me that thing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Here you go.
Give me that thing, big
I know.
guy.
I don't want to hog all the work here. You go for
Or
it.
you know what? Because it's not work. You don't want to hog all the fun.
All the fun, exactly.
It's really fun. Now, how far away do I go?
You're about right, 8 to 6 inches.
How fast do I go?
That's about right there. A little bit faster, but
in other words, I'm pretty doggone good at this.
And you'll get the hang of it real quick. You notice you start using it, you start to realize you start intuitive, right?
Well, it just, I got to tell you something, it ain't rocket science.
No.
Now, would you go the other way on this one? Do you go back?
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked me that. So if you turn this way, this is the ring right here. This is the pattern ring, so you're just going to change that. So you have 2 directions.
Boom.
Up
now
and
I
down.
Go side to side?
Now you go side to side.
Okay, now I'll go side to side. Here we go.
Yep.
How about that?
There you go. Look at that. You're making really quick work of this. That's what I love about this. This is going to look, it's a brand new chair. Once you got the orange on it, the burnt orange, it's a brand new chair.
Let's finish it off.
Yep.
I mean, you really can't do it wrong.
No, you really can't.
There's very little overspray too.
Yes.
Like it's pretty incredible.
Well, look at me. This is why one of the reasons I wore this, because you can't hide red paint or orange paint.
Oh, but you can't. Oh, yeah. You'd be wearing the Pantone color of the year on your white pants.
Exactly. I don't want that to happen.
That's great.
That's
man.
done. That's
really,
done.
really impressive.
Yes.
So simple, and you're not using too much paint.
No.
You're not using too little paint.
Right.
We got a question for you. Is that? Would you call that one coat coverage?
That's one coat.
Or do you come back tomorrow and redo that?
No, that's one coat coverage. One coat, you're done. That's the beauty of this. You said you're not wasting paint. You just made that comment?
Yeah.
That's the thing. The paint goes where you want it. You're not wasting any of it.
Right.
So it's one coat and you're done.
Because I'll tell you one of the things. The one thing you don't have here, maybe have over there, is the roller. And the roller is notorious. I've been notorious for I don't want to go back to the roller again. So I put a lot of paint on there and then I drip the paint. And I've got a blob of paint here. By the time I get down there, I got no paint. So I'm trying to even the thing out.
By the way, did you notice we have the roller out?
Got a roller over
All
there.
right, so we're gonna.
Anybody who's ever tried to roll the paint, and if you're really a professional painter,
Yes.
you know what the dealio is.
Yeah.
But just in the time you go back to the tray.
Right.
Back to the tray.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
It's the 8-track tape of painting.
There you go, exactly. So I'm going to go. This is another project I do all the time, whether it's private clients or when I'm on the show, for example. We do a lot of fences, right? The best way to do it, right? Start here. Now this is, Rick, this is a solid stain I'm using now. This is not paint, this is solid stain. And look at the coverage. I talk about one coat coverage. Just a nice steady pace.
Wow.
Come right down. And this is not smooth. You can see how rough this is.
And you know what? I tell you, you're not moving that fast, but on camera, it looks like you're flying.
Yeah.
And this thing is being done so quickly.
It's a steady pace.
Now, there's no way that you could do that and not, if you were doing a roller, and not go back and roll it. And if you were using a brush, you'd have to go back to the paint can 20 times by now.
Many times, and you'd have to get into all those little, because this is rough. It's a rough surface. This isn't smooth. But most of your outdoor fences, if they're wood, are going to have some rough surface to it.
Wow. Okay, a lot of questions here. People are picking this up. Second to last presentation. This is the last 2 hours. Question number 1. Can you use this to paint a ceiling?
Yes, you can. I get this question a lot. What I recommend, you notice how we talked about the suction tube, how you can change the direction of that? So if you're going to be up above your head, you don't want it at a 90, you want it at a 45. So as long as you're working backwards and you're at a 45, it's perfect. It works great.
Sistine Chapel took months. He could have had this done.
If our boy would have had this at Sistine Chapel, I think he would have been done a lot quicker.
Our boy.
Yeah.
Could this be? Could you use this with a paint that is a paint and a primer in one? Interesting question.
You can. Interesting question. You can. So anything that is a paint, whether it's a latex paint or oil-based paint,
it'll work.
It'll work. It'll go right in.
It's amazing.
Sealer, stain, all of that will go right in.
Hey, by the way, here's the value again. Second to last look at it. Do you already have it? Want to call us? You get a better buy on it, and you get money off the paint. It's a voucher is what you're physically going to be getting, right?
Right.
And that's if you go, well, what kind of locations can I get the
most
the
retail locations. You can get that at, yeah.
All that.
Yep.
Not $135, but 5 easy payments of $20. And again, this is the unit. How long is the cord on that? And I'll just get an extension cord when I need it, right?
Extension. I have a bunch of extension. It's 6 feet long.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. Just you get the extension cord, whether it's 25
and
foot,
you never
50
run
foot.
out of the battery life. You don't have
No.
to recharge it. You just plug the thing in and go.
There's something to be said about plugging things in.
And that really is.
Yes.
Never have to worry about the battery going down on you, right?
Right. So
halfway through your project.
So this is another one, Rick, that I do a lot, decks and railings. And railings can be another nuisance because, again, it's a lot of time spent.
Is that another word for nightmare? Nuisance?
Right, it is. I'm coming up with some different words here.
Nuisance is a really nice way of putting it.
I've used nightmare a bunch of times.
That is, I did, God rest her soul, my grandma's fence I had to paint. I was like Tom Sawyer painting the fence back in the day with the brush.
Yeah. Was that a punishment? Or
I'm
was that
still
for
not
fun?
done. I'm still not done.
So I want to show you real quick. We've done everything on wide. So this is this changes the width of the spray. Now we're on narrow, right? So right here, if you can see that, we're on narrow. It's really simple. You got wide, you got narrow. So that means a 10-inch, 12-inch spray or a 4-inch spray.
So you can do it horizontal, vertical,
right,
wide, narrow.
Wide, narrow. There you go.
Good.
So we're on narrow just because I've got some narrow spindles,
sure.
right? So I'm going to get real detail on this and put the paint right where I want it. So you can see it's just going right. And I put the paint exactly where I want to put it. But it gets in all the little curves, all the little crevices, and then I would just come to this side over here and get this side.
And obviously narrow, more pinpoint, no overspray, using less paint.
Right, a lot less overspray with this because as you notice, we're not really getting a lot.
Sure.
But that's great. So now all I have to do to go to the deck, I'm going to put that back on wide.
Look at that.
Right. I'm going to up this a little bit because this is the material flow dial. A little more material because we got a large surface, right? So now I'm going to switch and go over here. I'm going to change the direction. So now I have
directions in the box, right?
Vertical spray, yes.
Okay, great.
Yes, but again, very simple because you have very few dials to move here, right?
What is this?
This is a high-low. So if you're using paints, you're going to go high. If you're using stains and sealers, you're going to go low.
Good.
So very simple. They've really Wagner's done an excellent job simplifying. So again, a deck, right? Watch how quickly this transforms.
Oh, it's amazing. Let me try that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me try that one.
There you go.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Yes.
That's
and now
fantastic.
you're going, so side to side.
So now, I mean, you're just going here. You've got this on wide, right?
Yep, you can get a little, there you go. There you go.
You got a lot of paint coming out of here.
Yep, perfect. When you do a large surface, that's what you want. Look at that.
Wow.
And that's
done.
one coat. One coat.
One coat, and the job is finished.
Yeah.
Hey, how much is that worth, by the way? Now, what are your choices? Roller, brush, rent something, professionally done, and pay somebody to do it.
And Rick, to be honest with you, a lot of these guys, they won't even approach you. If you got a little job to do, they're not even going to come over. $100.
Professional painter's not going to do it.
They're not even going to do it.
Right.
They're not even going to do it.
3 figures, they ain't going to do it. Right?
Exactly. No,
hey,
they won't even look at it.
Here we go. What's going on, Mr. Producer? If you want this, by the way, this is going very quickly. There's no like advanced order on it. It's the only order of the season. That's the big story on this. So here comes spring, here comes summer. Nope. Not another one. It's a QVC2 big deal.
So another one, lattice. I do this outside all the time. Decks have this underneath, the skirt. And it's really hard to paint, but with the FLEXiO, it makes it really simple. So again, I'm going to start low. But look how it just covers everything.
Everything.
In one pass. One pass.
Everything.
This would be a nightmare. I went back to nightmare.
Another one.
A nightmare to paint if you're going to do it the old-fashioned way, like you said.
In heaven's name would you do it any other way?
No, there really is no purpose at this point to do it any other way.
It's like the difference between you can drive there or you can take the horse and buggy.
Or you can take a jetpack. You want to do a jetpack?
Jetpack or a horse and buggy? What do you want to do?
Here's what's cool too, Rick. If somebody's doing this for the first time and I missed a little bit, sensitive trigger, right? So if you want to just put a little bit there, boom. Great. Knock it out.
I love how the machine starts before it kicks it out.
Yes.
Just for a second.
Let me show you.
It kind of lets you know.
Let me show you that
you're
real
about
quick.
to do the project.
That's a 2-stage trigger. I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay.
Because if I just do that, that's only the turbine. The first little pull of the trigger. If you go right in here.
First little pull.
That's just the turbine.
Okay.
And then when you pull it more, I tell you what. Here's what I want you to do. You've been talking about the roller all day. I want you to go ahead and if you're going to tackle that wall, the A-track.
I know paint though, buddy boy. I know what I'm doing here.
The A-track way.
I'm no amateur when it comes. No, I know. I know how to do it, and I'm not bad.
Right.
Right.
But see,
I use too much.
Right.
And it's uneven.
It's uneven.
But I know what I'm doing.
And you get the marks. You're going to eventually have to come back. Now, this is where you would come back a couple times.
Yeah, you gave me some sort of roller from 1975, too.
You think I kind of put you at a disadvantage? Is that what you're saying?
I think you did. I did. But you know what? But you always got to go back.
Yeah. But again, not the way to do this.
And plus now I've got to go back.
Yes, you got to go back.
What if I'm on a ladder?
Yeah, if you're on a
now
ladder.
I got to climb. Now I got to up the ladder. I got to do it, or I got to climb down and get it again.
You know what you might do? You might step in the pan.
Not a good idea.
You don't want to do that, right?
So there's one